Welcome back to our channel. The man who once made people grin all over the world with his comedy and effortless acting style, Owen Wilson, is now standing in the middle of life's storms. Can he withstand them? Few people are aware of the terrible tales of profound personal tragedies that lay beneath the smiles of characters like Zoolander and Wedding Crashers. How did Owen Wilson overcome such tragic experiences, and what caused him to reach the point of wanting to terminate his own life, from his turbulent romance with Kate Hudson to his struggles with depression and severe mental crises? Hit subscribe and keep watching to learn more about Owen Wilson's life, early years, and professional beginnings if you're a fan and interested in the little-known parts of this celebrity's life. You'll be thrilled to hear the dramatic tale of his collapse and incredible comeback. November 18, 1968, saw the birth of Owen Cunningham Wilson in Dallas, Texas. Laura Wilson, his mother, was a well-known photographer, and Robert Wilson, his father, was an executive at a public television station. Given his upbringing in a creative household, it's no surprise that Owen was exposed to the arts at a young age. Interestingly enough, though, Owen wasn't exactly a model student. Instead of concentrating on his studies, he was regularly in problems at school, which finally resulted in his transfer to New Mexico Military Institute. Even though it was a rigorous atmosphere, Owen's robust personality was developed in part by this new environment, which helped him learn discipline and patience. However, he did not have a predetermined route to the film industry. Owen met Wes Anderson, a buddy who would play a crucial role in his life, at the University of Texas at Austin after graduating from military school. Owen and Wes Anderson clicked right away in their artistic endeavors while they were in college. Following their participation in a screenwriting course, they both made the decision to attempt filmmaking. Bottle Rocket, their first endeavor, was born during this time. The movie not only signaled the beginning of Owen's career but also the entry of a new talent into the motion picture business. Despite not being a box office hit, Bottle Rocket, 1996, received positive reviews from critics. More significantly, it established Owen Wilson's reputation and a continuing creative collaboration with Wes Anderson. Owen's career really took off after this. Following Bottle Rocket's small-scale success, Owen began to get offers for parts in larger motion pictures. He was able to establish himself gradually with small roles in Anaconda, 1997, and The Cable Guy, 1996. But Owen wasn't content to merely perform. His innate ability to write led him to collaborate with Anderson on the Rushmore, 1998 screenplay, which was acclaimed for its creative narrative. In addition to being well received by reviewers, Rushmore demonstrated Owen's breakthrough acting and writing abilities. As he blended his talent for comedy with his screenplay abilities, Owen Wilson's career really took off. What was remarkable about Owen was that, in spite of his reputation as a comedian, he gave his characters a level of emotional nuance and genuineness that few could equal. He became one of Hollywood's rising stars as a result of this, but it was just the beginning. With these encouraging beginnings, Owen Wilson was not only headed for big-screen success but also for much greater obstacles in his personal and professional lives. What was the next stop on this journey? What changed Owen from a budding celebrity to a priceless Hollywood legend? The narrative of Owen Wilson is just beginning, so stay tuned. Relationship with Ben Stiller and career peak. When talking about Owen Wilson's career high point, Ben Stiller is a name that simply must be mentioned. Their partnership influenced a lot of Hollywood's comedy landscape over the previous 20 years, in addition to becoming a distinguishing characteristic of Owen's career. How did a professional relationship develop into such a strong, imaginative one, though? Furthermore, how did the two collaborate to produce a series of classic movies? After his early films were successful, Owen began to attract the interest of renowned filmmakers, like Ben Stiller. The two initially collaborated on The Cable Guy, 1996, which Ben directed and in which Owen had a small but noticeable role. With this partnership, a new chapter in their relationship began. Ben saw right away that Owen had a natural gift for comedy, and the two of them formed a formidable team in the comedy film industry. One of their most important turning points was the 2001 film Zoolander. Ben Stiller starred in this movie as a dim-witted male model named Derek Zoolander in addition to directing it. Playing Hansel was Owen Wilson, Derek's competitor in modeling. Owen and Ben became the ideal on-screen couple thanks to their witty and natural comedic performance, which was praised. Zoolander's success at the box office wasn't its only accomplishment. It became a cultural phenomenon, and admirers still adore its funny sayings and eccentric characters. The collaboration between Owen and Ben flourished into a number of further films following the success of Zoolander. 2004, an action comedy that was adapted from the well-liked TV show. In the film, Ben and Owen portrayed two police officers who were very different but complemented each other in their efforts to solve murders. Even though the movie didn't do too well at the box office, it strengthened their productive collaboration. They developed a true artistic relationship that went beyond simple collaboration and constantly brought out the best in both of them. One of the pillars of Owen's career was their creative relationship, which together helped reshape comedy in Hollywood. Owen Wilson's Night at the Museum series, however, was probably the most important turning point in his career. Not only was Night at the Museum a huge box office success when it debuted in 2006, but it also signaled Owen Wilson's successful return to the family movie genre. Owen portrayed the role of Jedediah in the film, a miniature cowboy residing within the museum. Audiences, particularly families and kids, were won over by his distinctive humor and eccentric persona. Night at the Museum's popularity continued to grow. It resulted in 2 follow-ups, both of which were huge box office hits. The unique aspect of the series is that, despite not playing the main character, fans constantly looked forward to and adored Owen's visits. Every time he appeared on film, Owen's comedic moments struck a deep chord, demonstrating his range as an actor. Owen Wilson's notable achievements extended beyond his work with Ben Stiller. Working on movies like The Royal Tenenbaums, 2001, which garnered Owen a nomination for an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, he continued to collaborate with Wes Anderson, his friend from the beginning of his career. From big-budget movies to independent artistic endeavors, his career progressively expanded, with roles that ranged from humorous to profoundly reflective. But regardless of how much Owen broadened his acting repertoire, his collaboration with Ben Stiller continued to be a vital aspect of his career. They shared mutual respect and understanding in their job, and they were more than just co-stars on television. This alliance proved to be very successful. Helped them establish their reputation in Hollywood by enabling them to produce enduring comedies. From Zoolander and Starsky and Hutch to the Night at the Museum series, Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson have left a lasting impression on the comedy industry. With every movie they collaborated on, they added something new and made an impact. Surprisingly, viewers always eagerly anticipated their on-screen partner despite their many partnerships. Because they always added something fresh and fascinating to every endeavor. Despite being at the pinnacle of his success, Owen had to deal with a lot of difficulties in his personal life. Despite the triumph on TV, his reality was rife with unsaid conflicts. This marked the beginning of an intense and tearful journey for Owen, who battled depression and emotional anguish after a turbulent separation with Kate Hudson, relationship with Kate Hudson, and personal catastrophe. In addition to being a straightforward love story, Owen Wilson and Kate Hudson's romance served as the impetus for a string of personal setbacks that would ultimately drive Owen to the verge of mental instability. Owen Wilson's relationship with actress Kate Hudson in 2006 marked the beginning of one of the most difficult periods of his life. They became one of the most talked about couples in Hollywood after meeting on the set of You, Me, and Dupree. As media darlings, Owen and Kate were often featured in the tabloids and watched closely by photographers. However, the world was unaware that this relationship would also cause Owen to experience a severe emotional breakdown. Kate Hudson was in the process of divorcing the Black Crowes lead vocalist Chris Robinson at the time. The media focused a lot of attention on Kate's quick transition into a new relationship with Owen after divorcing her husband. There were rumors circulating that Kate's marriage had failed primarily due to Owen. The pair continued to dominate the headlines and were the subject of constant speculation, despite Kate's denial of these claims. Owen and Kate's romance, however, didn't last long. The couple had problems only a few months after going public. Despite his public image as a humorous and lighthearted actor, Owen battled serious emotional problems. Owen was dealing with a lot of pressures at the moment, including his relationship with Kate. In addition to his personal hardships, Owen's continual attention and media intrusion drove him into a deep despair. When Kate chose to break up with him, things became more tense. The revelation of Kate Hudson's relationship with comedian and actor Dax Shepard blew up in the media in 2007. Owen had a terrible blow when he saw pictures of Kate and Dax together, which caused him to lose all hope. The breakup was more painful than simply losing a romantic relationship. It signaled the start of a much more serious crisis in Owen's life. Owen's well-documented personal breakdown, which preceded his terrible suicide attempt, was the result of this anguish as well as the demands of his public life and work. During one of the darkest times in his personal life, he was driven to the brink by the intense public scrutiny and the emotional fallout from his breakup with Kate. Owen Wilson startled fans around the world and Hollywood on August 26, 2007, when he tried to commit suicide at his Los Angeles residence. He had a cut on his wrist and took too many medications. Had it not been for his brother Luke Wilson's prompt action, Owen might not have lived. All major media sites featured the tragedy on their front pages right away, leaving the audience curious about what had happened to this once adored comedian. Not only was Owen's suicide attempt shocking, but what caused it was as well. Owen had been fighting depression for years, despite the happy facade and the on-screen laughter. He was confused and struggling due to professional pressures, broken relationships, and the constant scrutiny of living in the spotlight. Simply put, the breakup with Kate Hudson was the last straw that caused Owen to feel as though he had lost control of his life. After the incident, Owen started the protracted healing process after being admitted to a treatment facility. To put his career on hold and concentrate on his mental health, he disappeared from Hollywood. Owen dealt with his difficulties in solitude and in silence, despite his decision to keep the incident a secret. His loved ones' emotional support helped him gradually achieve equilibrium in his life. The most admirable thing about Owen is that he persevered through one of the most difficult times in his life. He returned to work after his treatment was over. 2008 saw his return to the big screen in Marley and Me. In addition to showcasing his trademark wit, Owen also portrayed familial love in a very moving way in this film. The movie struck a chord with viewers, particularly those who had followed Owen's humorous roles. The popularity of Marley and Me demonstrated that despite all of his difficulties, Owen was still able to win back the public's affection. Owen kept making an impression with deeper works, such Woody Allen's 2011 Midnight in Paris, in which he portrayed a writer caught between the past and the present who uses time travel to find the meaning of life. Owen's shift from a humorous star to a sensitive and nuanced performer was showcased in this role, which also earned him a Golden Globe nomination. In the movie Wonder, Owen further showcased his abilities by playing a loving father who takes care of his son, who was born with a facial deformity. The movie served as a showcase for Owen's professional development while conveying a very human message about acceptance and love. He was no longer merely a comic character, he was now an actor who could move audiences with emotionally charged roles. Which, although it almost brought him down, had a profound effect on many of his admirers. Nevertheless, Owen managed to overcome significant psychological obstacles and rose to prominence in the entertainment industry as a symbol of tenacity. Owen went on his trip after finding the light in his life after seemingly losing everything. There may be people dealing with dark thoughts and considering death somewhere near you, under the mounting stresses of life. It's a reality that nobody wants to face, but it does exist. We hope that this is clear to all. Even though we may experience extreme sorrow in life, we can always get back up and carry on if we don't give up. To express your agreement with us, please feel free to post a remark that reads, "Yes, I am." Let's go back to Owen Wilson's trip and see where his life takes him. As a father of Robert Ford Wilson, Finn Lindquist Wilson, and Lila Aranya Wilson, Owen Wilson, who is well known for his humorous roles, leads a very emotional personal life. Owen has undergone significant transformation as a father, changing his values and how he sees his family and himself. Owen and his ex-girlfriend Jade Duell had their first kid, Robert Ford, in January 2011, marking the beginning of Owen's journey into fatherhood. Despite their separation prior to Ford's birth, Owen continued to be actively involved in his son's life and provided him with loving and committed care. Owen was unable to conceal his pride when he was questioned about fatherhood, frequently narrating tales of the ordinary yet significant times he spent with Ford, ranging from light-hearted games to the minor pleasures his son provided into his life. Owen and Caroline Lindquist welcomed Finn Lindquist Wilson, their second son, into the world in January 2014. Even though they were no longer together, Owen continued to be involved in Finn's life. In an effort to foster a tight brotherly tie between his two sons, he made sure that Ford and Finn grew close. Finn looks up to his big brother Ford and strives to be like him in every way, Owen reportedly said in an interview. When Owen sees his two sons playing together, he feels proud and warm, reaffirming the value of family in his life. His connection with Lila Aranya Wilson, his youngest child, has been more complicated, though. In October 2018, Lila was born after a brief affair with Veronique Vangsvierets. Even though rumors indicate that Owen has not been as interested in Lila's life as his two kids, he still values his duty as a father. Owen has a particular place in his heart for each of his children, despite the fact that he no longer has romantic ties with their moms. Being a father has had a big impact on Owen's job and lifestyle in addition to altering his self-perception. Once a Hollywood celebrity with a hectic schedule of events and movie shoots, Owen gradually began to prioritize his family. He has mastered the art of juggling business and family obligations, constantly trying to find time for his kids in spite of his hectic schedule. Although being a movie star is significant, Owen has frequently stated that the most valuable times for him are when he is playing, learning, and seeing his kids develop. As a result of his renewed emphasis on family, Owen has developed not only as an actor but also as a father who values the small pleasures of being in his kid's life. The activities that Owen Wilson spends with his sons are among the most enduring memories of his life. He often goes to football games with Ford and Finn, engages in art lessons, or just likes playing together. Taking Bob Ross art classes with Ford and Finn turned into a memorable experience, Owen revealed in an interview. The three of them painted the same mountain landscape, each one distinctively capturing the character of a family member, he remembered with fondness. After becoming a father, Owen has a fresh outlook on life that transcends the glamour of Hollywood. Should concentrate on the small but significant moments spent with family. Love and care for his children are far more important than any professional accomplishments, he recognized. His more recent parts have mirrored this change in attitudes, as Owen has emphasized family and sincere values while selecting characters with depth. For instance, in the 2017 film Wonder, he played a devoted father who would stop at nothing to help his son, demonstrating the close bond between a parent and child. Despite the fact that being a father hasn't always been easy, Owen Wilson's experience has helped to mold him into the man he is today. Once a comedy star, Owen has matured and made his fatherhood experiences a major source of motivation for his life. He is a dedicated parent who prioritizes his family and his kids over all else, in addition to being a gifted performer. Legacy and present work. After overcoming personal obstacles and making a victorious comeback, Owen Wilson has made a lasting impact on humor and film in general. Owen has demonstrated his versatility as an actor by consistently pushing himself in a variety of genres, from Wedding Crashers to Midnight in Paris. Particularly throughout his turbulent relationship with Kate Hudson and the psychological challenges he encountered, Owen's life is one of highs and lows. His career has been characterized not just by his humorous achievements but also by his remarkable recovery from personal tragedy. He overcame these setbacks and still enthralls audiences with his emotionally charged performances. Over the course of several decades, Owen Wilson has made a substantial impact on the film industry. His career has progressed beyond traditional comedy, taking on more significant parts in movies such as Wonder and Midnight in Paris. His portrayal of Mobius in Marvel's Loki, however, was a significant advancement that brought him back into contact with contemporary film, particularly with children. Owen's legacy would not be complete without his long-term partnership with director Wes Anderson. Their flawless creative synergy is evident in every appearance in Anderson's films, from The French Dispatch to The Royal Tenenbaums. These partnerships helped develop Owen's distinct acting style, which deftly blends humor and emotional nuance, in addition to advancing his career. It is indisputable that Owen is significant in the comedy and film industries. He is not just a gifted comedian but also a legend for telling poignant and thought-provoking tales. He conveys important ideas via moving narratives in movies like Marley and Me and Wonder, demonstrating his capacity to arouse both humor and strong human bonds. Owen has maintained his reputation in recent years by taking on significant undertakings and appealing to the public's admiration. His work on Loki and upcoming projects with Wes Anderson show that he is still in high demand. Despite all of the difficulties he has encountered, Owen's love for acting has not diminished, and he still excels on the big screen. With his accomplishments to date and his intriguing upcoming projects, Owen Wilson is continuing his cinematic adventure, giving joy and profound emotions to millions of people across the world. He is a representation of creativity and unrelenting expansion. His light will undoubtedly continue to shine brightly for many years to come. So that his admirers around the world can continue to laugh and appreciate his work, we hope Owen Wilson stays resilient, content, and passionate about film. And you? Would you mind sharing any information with us regarding Owen Wilson? Please continue the conversation by leaving a comment below. We appreciate your patience as we finish today's tale. Please remember to subscribe to our channel in order to help us produce even more amazing material in the future and to ensure that you don't miss any more thrilling stories. Until our next video, see ya!